Sometimes sewing can be really personal. For me, I got this jacket a few years ago when I started a brand new job, and it was the worst working experience of my life. I don't work there anymore. I've hidden the logo. But for me, I held on to this jacket because it is really comfortable. My daughter was just a baby at the time. I felt super comfortable wearing it with her, and if she spit up on me or if she spilled something on me, I wouldn't care. And I've just kind of held on to it because when I go to buy a new one, nothing ever really feels like me. And so, this new project I'm really excited about. I get to sew something that I know feels like me. I have full creative license over. I don't have a pattern like a traditional sewing pattern making me stressed or nervous. Like I feel like I have to do everything perfect. That's something I like about the Letterlow patterns. I've heard a phrase that you can sew intentions into your clothes, and using the Letterlow system, I feel just so happy and free. And when I wear the clothes, I feel happy and free. So I'm just very excited to sew this jacket and get rid of this one once and for all, donate it to Goodwill probably, and just have a fun jacket that I feel really good about wearing. So yeah, sometimes your sewing project can be really personal, and that's great. And if you have those personal stories, please feel free to comment below. This one is mine. So my fleece jacket is going to be from the supplement 311, or if you recently purchased the Letterlow book, it's on page 275. If not, you can find it in supplement 311. So the fabric I've chosen is purple fleece and blue fleece. I want to use the purple fleece for the bodice and the blue fleece for the sleeve. I also want to embellish the shoulders with some lace and some beads. And I also found this really cool zipper. My name is Crystal, and this looks like a C with a crystal in it, and so I could not pass on that. I wanted to add some patches as well. So I'm drawing out this pattern piece here, and you can see from this dot to this dot, it looks like it should be a straight line. And when I don't have a ruler this long, and someone on the Facebook group said use a broom, so that's what I'm doing. And when I connect this dot to this dot, it doesn't really look like a straight line. It might in the video, but I promise it's not. And that's been a common question on the Facebook group, and they had some different resources that they pointed people to. What I've done in the past is just kind of move it down or move it over to make it more in line with the top dot. It worked out for me, or you can just keep it together, whichever. This is also why making a mock-up is so important. Just got to test it. You just got to see what works better for you. But if you have the system, go to the Facebook group, try to search for that post. There's a lot of different suggestions, but that's just what I've done in the past, is just move it in a little. You don't have to. You can keep them together and see how it goes. But like I said, make a mock-up so you'll know for sure if it's going to fit the way you want it to fit. A resource I've mentioned in the past is the Letterlow System Facebook group. And someone asked this very question. They said, I don't understand how the pattern that looks straight in the paper is crooked when I draw it. Measurements 110 above the shoulder, 120 after the shoulder, 118 below the waist. So when they tried to draw this bodice piece, it looked crooked. And there were, I think, like 48 comments, and I just took a screenshot of a few of them and for privacy marked out the names. It is normal. Patterns usually tie around depending on the measurement you used. You have to correct the straight back line that you drew. It is not straight. Use a long ruler or a broom. And this person, they said the dots don't line up, and they said doesn't matter, just draw a straight line from one point to another. And draw a straight line sometimes from the top of a bodice piece to the bottom. You do have to use a broom. I've had to use a broom in pattern pieces before. And so I didn't do that, as you saw in my video clip before. But after reading these comments, I think I will try it. It does feel wrong because the picture is straight, like a straight line from the top to the bottom, and it's not going to be straight if you use a broom. So that is a risk you can take, and I suggest maybe you try both ways with different patterns and see what you like better. But again, it's a good resource because people are going to be asking the same questions you have. So I'm currently paying the price of not sewing a mock-up. I thought this was all one piece, and this was one piece with these weird darts in the middle, maybe for the pockets. But after cutting out the first piece, I realized that they're separate, but they labeled it A and AC to let you know they go together. And that's why it's, I get it now, but I definitely didn't before. And I still wanted this dominant piece to be purple, but that would mean, so like dominantly be purple and have these inside parts be blue, and then I guess the sleeves would be purple. But now I have to see if I have enough leftover fabric to make purple sleeves. So this is my sleeve pattern sitting on what I have left of the purple fabric. Obviously it's falling off here. So if I want to use the purple, I might have to somehow patch the fabric I've left together. I might try unfolding it and refolding it a few times to see if I can just get it all in one piece. But this is your lesson, folks. Even if it looks simple, sew a mock-up. Okay, so my fabric shortage saga continues. I had enough fabric to cut out 2 pieces of this. It's for the front. The blue is for the middle. And I forgot about the back. The back also needs the purple fabric. I don't have any more purple fabric. I'm not going to the store because it's a pandemic. I only go to the store when it like immediately opens. And I want to move forward with this project. So I went through my fabric stash and I found this Girl Scout sweater. I bought this at Goodwill a few years ago. I almost got rid of it because I stopped wearing it, and I decided to put it in my fabric stash to do something with it later. And it is purple. It's not the same purple, but it's still purple, and it will fit the back. So you have to cut it on the fold, and it's going to be a little short on the bottom, but I really don't mind Frankensteining some little fabric scraps to the bottom at all. So I'm gonna make this work. But that's the status of my fabric and sewing project at the moment. This is a quick look of what it looks like to put these pattern pieces together with the pocket. Got my purple, my blue pocket. It all came together really nicely. Wasn't hard at all. So far so good. Nothing like starting off the day with some fresh snow and some bobbin winding. If you've watched my previous methods, you know my preferred way of sewing sleeves is to leave everything open. And earlier in the video, I shorted myself seam allowance on either one or the other side of the sleeves and thought nothing bad can happen there. And as you can see, there's a little bit left over on this side and this side. So let's line it up and see if it works. Oh, look, it doesn't. So when I tried this on earlier, I thought the sleeve was too big. So I'm okay with lining things up on this side, on the, I guess, bodice side, and shorting myself some seam allowance or sleeve fabric because I want the sleeves to be smaller anyway. So it's going to end up working out for me. Again, this is a forgiving pattern. It's just a jacket. If you're sewing a fitted pattern, you might have to redraw the fabric pieces, make them a little bigger. But for me, I'm not a perfectionist, and I'm sorry if this gives you anxiety if you are, but I don't care because I know in the end it'll work out. So I'm just gonna leave this side together and short myself some sleeve fabric. We are taking a snow break this morning, just shoveling away. This is where I am with the jacket currently. I just finished sewing the collar on. So the collar piece I cut out, the pattern piece ended up being too small, and I don't know if that's because I've added seam allowance to the jacket pieces or what happened there. So if you are doing this pattern, give yourself a few extra inches of length and then just cut off the extra after you've pinned it on, because I had to recut out the pattern piece, and you know my fabric saga, so I had run out of long strips of fabric, so I had to combine two and just kept it in the back, which is fine. It's the first time I've really had an issue with measurement with one of the pattern pieces, so I don't know. I don't know what happened there. It could have been on my end. I don't think it was the pattern piece because it's not a consistent issue for me. It's the first time, and so like, I know the sleeves, but that was on me. So anyway, and it's also like Mercury is retrograde right now. I don't know if you're into that, but it's showing up in my life with this project right now. Everything that can go wrong is going wrong, but I'm just trying to have fun with it along the way. It's a no pressure project, so it's all right. So this is where I am so far. I do want to put some embellishments on the shoulder pieces, and I also have to put the zipper on, and I want to put a fun patch on there. I'll show the back. This is what the back looks like right now, the Girl Scouts logo. So far so good. I've added this lace design to the shoulder of the jacket. In order to do so, I used a lot of pins to keep everything in place. Then I sewed the top line by hand sewing and the bottom line with the sewing machine. There's just way too many pins. I couldn't do it all in the sewing machine, or else it would have been much faster. I'll show you what it looks like on. Here's the shoulder piece when it's on, as well as the finished project. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I'm so happy to wear it. I'm happy to put it on. It brings me a lot of joy. And overall, I think it's a project well done. So the modifications I made to this pattern were I made the collar a bit smaller and the sleeves a bit smaller. But other than that, I didn't modify the pattern at all. So if you're interested in sewing this pattern, this is what you're gonna get. And I'm happy with it. I thought it was a very forgiving pattern, so if you're a beginner and a beginner into letter low, it might be a good pattern to try. But yeah. The next sewing project I'm gonna do is this dress here. It's from supplement 307. So what I'm going to do is I bought this Valentine's Day shirt off Etsy a few years ago, and I didn't like how it fit on me, and so I just held on to it. And what I want to do is use this front piece as the front of the dress and have it be an all red dress, and just be able to finally use this shirt for a cute Valentine's Day dress, which I've always wanted, and I've always wanted to sew one myself. And so this is my opportunity. I don't know that I'm going to get it done in time for Valentine's Day, but I certainly will try. So that is my next project. Again, this is a letter low dedicated channel. If you're interested in letter low patterns, then this is a great resource for you, I hope. And I hope you enjoy my videos, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.